Top of the top, YouTube Nation, my people from all over, welcome back to the show. And for everybody who's first time tuning in, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit that little notification button up there. That way, every time I drop some new content, you'll be one of the first to get it. All right, as y'all know, today is 8/24, August 24th. This is officially Kobe Day. That's what we call it out in California, Southern California to be exact. LA to be exact. This is Kobe Day. And on this day right here, this Wednesday, this hump day, I'm going to reflect on Kobe and what Kobe meant to me. So I'm going to get right into it. For me, Kobe was, all right, he came to LA in 1996. 1996 is the same year that I caught life in prison. That's the same year Tupac got killed. All this happened around the same time. The same year, middle LA, middle 90, middle LA, yeah, middle 96. I went to jail April 20th, 96. Then at that, Tupac got killed, and then Kobe and Shaq came to the Lakers. So for me, what Kobe is, when he first came, I didn't know nothing about him. I just heard about him taking brandy to the prom. At first, I thought he was a cat from out here. I thought he went to Crenshaw or something like that. I had no idea that the little brother came from Philadelphia by way of France and everywhere else he didn't live in the world. But when he first came on, I was like, once he became a Laker, I started hearing about him. He was telling you about Kobe, this kid, Kobe Bryant, Kobe Bryant. So at this time, I'm in the Linwood County Jail right there in Imperial, which is the ladies' county jail now. And we called that back then in 96, we called it the Love Shack because they had carpet on the floor and all this old stuff in there, refrigerators. It was way cleaner than Central Jail downtown. So I'm in here and we starting to watch the preseason games. They're showing Laker games there because we got KCAL 9. So KCAL 9, they broadcast all Laker games back then. So I'm watching this kid. He looking nice. I like his attack. I like everything about him. He was young, but he was just reckless. He was young, but he was determined. He's 18 years old. So what you expect? You know, you're not going to come in here and be like a Jordan. You're not going to be a Magic Johnson just like that and just be boom. And you're on a team with Shaq. But he came in 1996. 1996, I got life in prison. So my whole term in prison, I did 20 years, 8 months. It's 21 years. Kobe's whole term as a Laker. I hate that I wasn't able to get out and watch him play at least once. You know, I wasn't able to go to no Staples Center games. By the time I made the Staples Center games, he was gone. I made it to a Staples Center Laker game when Lonzo Ball was there and uh, Lee Clarkson and Josh Hart and Kuzma, all of them young cats was there at the time. I think Brandon Ingram might have been there. So I went and watched them play Portland. I went up there another time and watched them play at Sacramento. But during those times I went, of course, Kobe had already retired. I hate that. You know, I wish I would have been able to see him play at least once. I want to try to make it to a game this year to watch LeBron play. I'm going to try to make that happen this season. But now, like I said, Kobe's whole term, his whole career as a Laker, was my whole life sentence in prison. So I watched this dude, and you know, when you're in prison, you like really be into sports. You be into sports way more than you be on the streets because you're able to watch them. You ain't got really too much going on, so you watching a lot of TV. I got so deep into it, man. Especially when they was winning them championships. I was in Calipat when they won it three in a row. I was up there, and you know, it was just the adrenaline. You know, as a Laker fan, y'all know what I'm talking about. We won again. Finally, we haven't won nothing since Magic then was there. Was that '89? I think the last one we had won before that. You know what I mean? So it's like we just happy for the Lakers won. Just like the Rams fans, they happy that the Rams won and they won in the city. I'm a Cowboy fan. I love when Dallas won. They ain't won in too long. They did win. They better win something again soon. God damn it. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Kobe's whole term, his career was my whole prison term, and I just liked him, man. I just liked the shit he did. I didn't like a lot of shit he did. A lot of stuff he did used to get on my nerves, but at the same time, as a person who was dedicated to his craft, you know, I had to respect that. I still respect that. Most players do, because you know this dude worked on his game so much. So just imagine this, people. If you work on your game that much, how great you will be, right? How great we will be if we work on our game like that. And I don't just mean basketball. I don't even mean sports. I'm talking about your game of life. If you apply the same type of commitment to becoming a better person, becoming more successful, the same way this dude did, put in the same work that he did, no, you'll make it. You know what I mean? And when I mean I put in the same work, it's a different level of work because we dealing with something different. He dealing with basketball. We dealing with life, the game of life. But now you can put in work. You can train. You can prepare yourself mentally for everything that's ahead of you. You want to be the best. You got to prepare to be the best. So check this out. This is what I did when I first came home. One of the things I did when I first came home. Because I read these books in prison, and some of my favorite books, let me say this. One of them is Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, The Black Choice by Dennis Kimbrough, Think Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and there's many more. But those are and quite a few Naeem Akbar books. You know, he got so many good books. Visions of Black Men. He got Change the Images of Psychological Slavery, Breaking and Change the Images of Psychological Slavery. If you haven't got a chance, check out Naeem Akbar. If anybody want to become conscious and try to wake up and start visualizing, seeing things in life philosophically, you know, Naeem Akbar is perfect for that. But check that out. But anyway, Robert Kiyosaki. So when I came home, Robert Kiyosaki had a seminar out in what's that, Costa Mesa. I think that's a DoubleTree out there. I think that was Costa Mesa. But anyway, I went out there, had to go check him out. You know, I didn't read his books. I didn't listen to his tapes. I didn't watch this YouTube videos. You know, Robert Kiyosaki is the shit. You know what I mean? He's the shit. He break it down. I think he got a podcast right now too. I watched the podcast one night. I was flipping channels. I don't know what it was. I just flipped and stumbled up on it. Like, damn, he got a podcast. But it's no surprise. This dude here is a genius. To me, he influenced me. And if you got an open mind, you want to grow, you want to learn something different, you want to understand the difference of being an asset or a liability, that's the perfect book to read to learn about that. But I went to the seminar because at that time I was going to a lot of seminar type stuff because I was dealing with Primerica. So I worked with Primerica. So when you're working with Primerica, every weekend they have us come out there to the little office where they had a little mini room, a little stage, and we go out there and then people get up and tell their story about how much money they made over the last week, how many plans they just sold, all this old kind of stuff. So just being around people that's, you know, and they honoring you, they saluting you for your success. So I was dealing with that kind of stuff already. So to go to a seminar to see Robert Kiyosaki, and this is somebody books I've been reading, I mean, that was an opportunity of a lifetime to me because I learned this. If you wanna you trying to make it, you trying to step your game up, take your game to the next level, you got to surround yourself with people that's on the next level. You're not going to take your game to the next level dealing with people that's on the level that you've been on for most of your life already. You got to step up above that. So going to seminars was that. So to go up in there, and it was millionaires up there. This cat in there talking, I'm just sitting up in there. It's like, it's wealth in here. You just feel rich. They giving out all kind of like swag bags and all this old stuff they giving out. But it was just like, you know, you felt it. I felt the power. I felt the energy. And before I never understood when I've heard people say they paid to be in a room with certain people. People paying $2,500 to be in a room with certain people just to hear certain people speak. 25, 3,000 just to hear this person speak. And I'm not even talking about the presidents. I'm just talking about life coaches. I'm talking about fucking network marketing people. All of these people, you know, influencers, people is paying top dollar to hear you speak, you know, and that's where I get a lot of stuff from because I listen to them. I never paid that kind of money for that. I would if I had the money because once I've been up in there and I done soaked up what I soaked up, the knowledge from these cats, you know, I understand it's a lot of wealth. It's a knowledge in there. So this is preparation. This is putting in work. This is practice. By attending these type of things, you surround yourself with people that's about something. You surround yourself with people that understand generational wealth, understand passive income, people who is talking about multiple sources of income, not people that's talking about what that is, cuz nigga, what them niggas doing over there all the time. You know, come on now, I done been around that forever, you know what I mean? So now it's like, okay, that's still where I'm from. They're still my homies, but at the same time, we all can't do the same thing. You still got to learn how to elevate. You got to step out and, you know, make your steps. You got to rise. We all do at some point in time, but some of us, it takes some of us a longer time to realize this. Like what I realized today, I should have realized years ago, back in the 80s. Yeah, I'm saying 80s. but I didn't because I was caught up. I was all I was concerned about was gang banging, representing the hood, Raymond this, Raymond that. That's all I cared about at the time, and I was like stuck into that. You know what I mean? That's it. That's all. Nothing else. You know, and a lot of people still like that, but that's being closed minded. So when we open our minds up, we're able to see more. We're able to receive more. So by receiving more, we're in a room with royalty. We're in a room with wealth. We're in a room with rich people. We're in a room with people who have made it and just sharing their experiences with us. And I love that. I love reading people's success stories, you know, because that motivates me. Just they talking about how they did it. It just motivates me. That's why Kobe, another reason people like Kobe, Jordan, Iverson, LeBron's, all these great players motivate me because the work they put in to be great. So we gotta want to be great. You gotta put in work to be great. Even in the field and streets, you banging. You don't become this nigga with this big ass name from the hood if you don't put in the work. You got to put in the work to be great. In our hood, you say you got to put in the work to be famous, to be what you really, you know, that's what we about over there. You know, you want that big name, you got to put in the work. You don't just get that name like, okay, you pop on, somebody's vouched for you, now you super famous. No, it don't work like that. You're not gonna make it like that in the real world as far as trying to be successful either. You're gonna be, come on, you got to surround yourself with the right people. You got to take in, it's what you take in. You got to take in the right information in order to get to the next level. If you rapping, you got to put yourself around the right people that's rapping, that's gonna keep you motivated. You don't want to be a rapper and you hanging around people that's not writing music, that's not producing, that's not trying to do what you trying to do, because they're gonna be slowing you down because they're not committed like you. So if you out there rapping, you doing about your music, you need to fuck with people that's on that same level, that's grinding just as hard as you, and that's gonna push you. If they not rapping, they part of your team. That's part of the people that's pushing you, motivating you, keeping you going, keeping you in the studio, and keeping you away from the bullshit because they believe in you. Because they believe in you. Because they believe in you. Also, people know this. It's the word of the day. This is some wisdom for your ass on this Wednesday, this hump day. When in doubt, don't go. When in doubt, don't do it. That's simple. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, don't do it. Just don't do it. Period. So, Kobe, his mentality was, you're not going to keep me down. You ain't better than me. I take on the challenge. Let's do it. We got to have that same Mamba mentality, not just on Monday. We got to have that same Mamba mentality about the things we go up against in life. We got to feel like, you know, the opposition, especially people like us that's coming from prison. You got to realize that I'm not going to let them stop me. I'm coming from nothing. I'm not going to let y'all stop me. Right now, I'm in this garage. I ain't gonna let the circumstances stop me because I'm trying to get bigger than this. I'm trying to have more than this. I'm trying to get out this motherfucking garage. And I'm gonna do it. And y'all gonna continue to watch me grow. And y'all gonna grow with me. Because I could tell jailhouse stories, it's funny shit and shit about really happened, but at the same time, y'all know I be sharing some real shit. I'm not just talking no fuck these niggas over here and this so shit. I don't give a damn about that. That's negative energy. I don't need that energy. That's the kind of energy that sets you back. When you pay all this money to go in a room with these people, you're not paying all that money to go up in there to be around negativity. And your time out here, right? Right? You got the $250, I mean, $2,500, $2,000, you know what I mean, $2,500, whatever. 1,500, whatever it is to get up in there for this. Right? You had the cash, the money for that. It's your value, yourself, your time. You paying by being there, your time. So I went to the DoubleTree and I listened to him talk. He had quite a few other dudes in there talk. All these dudes was millionaires and just sitting there watching all these millionaires talk. I think it was like about 5 of them. I think like 4 dudes and a girl. You know, I was blown away because they said a lot of things I never knew. and they talk a lot about investments and real estate and how easy it is to get into these things. If you really looked into them, it's not as hard as we think. That's the problem. We don't look into things. We think things is real hard to do. People think starting a business is real hard to do. It's not. You start a small business, it ain't hard to do that. You got kids starting small businesses every day. It's not hard to do that. You just got to know how to do that. You got to want to do that. You got to have that will. You got to have that Mamba mentality to win. You got to have that Mamba mentality to succeed in life. You got to have that. We got to have that. So as my channel continue to grow and y'all continue to watch, we going to grow together. Because y'all going to keep doing things. Y'all going to take something from what I said today. I listen to everybody's conversation. I listen to a lot of different other YouTubers. Be truthful, when it comes to the game content, I got quite a few I listen to. It's a lot out there I don't listen to. It ain't nothing about against them people, these other channels, none of that. It's just that I only need so much. I don't need to know with every channel, people that's dropping game content. I don't need to hear from everybody. I didn't live the life. Everybody's talking haven't lived the life I live. Everybody who's talking, who's sharing these stories, they haven't never had life in prison. Their story's different from mine. But I do go through and listen to them. I hear them all. I try to give support. Not all of them, because I don't got time for that. I spend more time, aside from the few that I listen to all the time, looking at other YouTubers that's not from the gang culture. I'm looking at people who's talking real estate. I'm looking at people who's talking mastermind type shit. I'm listening to different stuff because I'm trying to learn something different. If I'm just listening to this, I'm going to stay with that. And so are you. If you just listen to us just talk about gang stuff all the time, that's all you're going to hear. You've been hearing most of your life, like me. But how are you going to grow if you're not listening to nothing different? That's why I don't listen to all the channels. It ain't nothing against the channels. Salute to everybody who's doing something. I respect everybody who have a channel who's trying to make a difference. If they doing something positive, unless they doing some bullshit, just on there just hating and shit, I ain't with that energy at all. But if you're doing something positive on your YouTube channel, salute to you, bro and sis, whoever you is, whatever you at, whatever you're doing, keep grinding. I mean, it's so much to do out here. But I just know for me, in order for me to grow and get to where I want to get to, I gotta look outside of that. I gotta get outside that box. I gotta look at what other people is talking about. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we excel. So, on this Wednesday, 8/24 Kobe Day, I said, rest in peace, Kobe. Kobe influenced a generation and many generations to come. Kobe was just hard, man. It was just hard. You got to respect his passion, his work ethic. And if we put in the same work ethic towards what we're trying to accomplish in life, we're going to be just as great.